when I was still a little boy, even an early ager, I remember well a teacher in a discussion telling me that a prudent and wise person learns by observing others' mistakes and by not repeating those mistakes on their own. I sometimes begin to query how far of that is true. I don't really know whether I would be 100% of the same opinion if I met him today. Alas, that very teacher died a long time ago, and I probably, as it is understandable, would never understand exactly by what those sayings he meant. But one thing I do understand, that it is most certainly a folly, and it would be a folly even on my own part, not to observe the mistakes of others and seeing the consequences, or even reading about them, or listening about them, and simply to disregard or ignore them. Certain individuals who claimed to be leaders and often were also great fighters in destroying others met very tragic ends. Permit me to crave certain examples. For instance, that Macedonian king known as Alexander, or often known as Alexander of Macedonia, who believed that he conquered the world even when he conquered India, but on his way back he became extremely ill, and in order to hide his true identity, directed his subordinates to throw him into a valley so that he could not be considered mortal, but immortal, as he claimed himself to be a god. Nero of Rome, or Nero in its anglicized form, met a similar end some time later. In between, Gaius Julius Caesar, or Julius Caesar as he is often known in its anglicized form, paid also too dearly in the hands of the senators, whom he wanted to dictate and dictated. Even his beloved so-called crazy son, Brutus, also no longer tolerated him, but stabbed him to death. And Gaius Julius Caesar's last words were, "Et tu, brute, min fil," you too, brute, my son. Even today, certain dictators are not merely dictating, but they're tyrannizing the world, even their own people. Even via reliable news broadcasting media, I heard today that a certain tyrannical leader who has been tyrannizing the world for a number of years, and his subordinates are killing their own people when they're refusing to join the war, knowing that they are going to commit practically suicide by joining the war because they are going to be destroyed in the battlefields. Whereas true dictators continue to dictate others in the falsehood of achieving something which cannot be achieved. True leaders serve their people and achieve what they want to. Even in the recent past, great leaders like Abraham Lincoln, who became one of the most outstanding leaders of the world, fought for true cause in defending or setting free people who were tyrannized by others, even enslaved by others. Mahatma Gandhi or Karamchand Gandhi sacrificed himself in order to win liberty for his people and for all those who believed in true humanity. Mother Teresa of Calcutta, also known as Saint Teresa today, sacrificed her whole life in service of others. Should we not learn from them the true meaning of service, or I should say the servant leadership, which they taught us? I'm referring to the latter, who sacrificed themselves in true service of humanity. I ask this very question on this very night, crossing from the 24th into the 25th of February of the current Gregorian year, 2026. A question I have been asking myself at least for the past 4 years. I thank all of you in anticipation for your kind understanding as I extend my highest regards to you, my fellow global citizens, whom I consider to be my true friends and masters in regarding my God, the creator of all of us. Thank you once again and bid you a very good and solemn night, while I remain most humbly at your service.